In the early years of the 21st century, terrorism was used by governments across the world as a pretext to scare their populations into submission. Life became a surveillance grid nightmare, with every individual's actions ruthlessly catalogued and recorded by the state. Secret arrests, checkpoints, and warrantless searches spread. The final incremental march of the police state, culminating in open martial law. This is the story of how the elite sold their people into slavery and scared the once proud and brave people of the West into submitting to being cannon fodder in wars for world domination.
Our enemies have made clear the danger they pose to our security.
We're just right outside the security perimeter at this national security event in New York City, just a few hundred yards away from Madison Square Garden, where at least 10,000 police are stationed, supposedly providing security for the Republican National Convention and all the delegates and media that are going to be here.
Sadly, we live in a world where, for the foreseeable future, you're going to have to provide security all the time.
Who do you work for? Well, you need to tell us. I mean, this is a free country. Officer, can you tell me this guy's badge number? Secret Police just covers his badge up? Secret Police in America.
This is what's called ambush journalism, and I disrespect you for that as well. So thank you and goodbye.
In the ritual?
It's none of your damn business.
We're also going to be talking to the protesters and finding out if the protesters are discussing real issues or if it's more of this phony left-right paradigm.
On Monday, that Zogby poll was released that showed 50% of New York City residents believe the government had foreknowledge and made a conscious decision not to intervene. 50% of the people who live in New York believe that.
Both candidates are cousins. They're skull and bones. They're bringing in big government and tyranny. The evidence is clear. The military-industrial complex was intimately involved in 9/11.
Many of the nearly 2,000 protesters arrested over the past few days have been taken to an old bus depot on Manhattan's West Side.
We should call this facility what it is, and it's a concentration camp. It's the Pier 57 concentration camp.
Oh, yeah, folks. We're in the middle of it now.
Stop exploiting the 9/11 tragedy!
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your Fuji-sponsored surveillance blimp.
Rollback of our civil liberties, just like them telling us we can't stand on the sidewalk here. Yeah, we can. We went to court and we can.
The Republicans are here and taking advantage of the 3,000 people that died right behind me for their own selfish politics, and it's very sad.
He is a man of perseverance. He is a man of inner strength. He's a leader who doesn't flinch, who doesn't waver, who does not back down.
On September 11th, America was attacked. Suddenly, on September 12th, according to John Ashcroft and George Bush, 270 million Americans became the suspects.
Hey, Michael, why don't you talk about NORAD standing down? Why don't you talk about NORAD standing down, Michael? Why not the really hardcore 9/11 issues? My friends, this is totally surreal. I'm in the middle of police, machine guns, high-tech sound weapons that are being used in Iraq. And the would-be dictator is on the radio. I'm in the middle of New York City. It's a hellhole of surveillance and police state. And the Bill of Rights being torched, being destroyed.
If you're here at 11:35, they will arrest you.
We traveled to New York to see the elite in action, but what we chronicled shook us to our very core. We were witnesses to the elite's ideology, to their mindset, their vision, their philosophy, and the martial law system that they are constructing, not just for the American people, but the population of the world. We're just right outside the security perimeter at this national security event in New York City, just a few hundred yards away from Madison Square Garden, where in just a few hours they'll be starting up the official coronation, Skull and Bones coronation Part 2 for John Kerry's cousin, George W. Bush, right here in New York City. We'll chronicle the police state, the surveillance blimps, the sound wave cannons, and we'll discuss 9/11 with New Yorkers by traveling to Ground Zero and find out how many of them are questioning the official story that has holes in it that you can fly a 747 through. You were saying that a lot of people aren't on the street now. What percentage of New Yorkers have left town? 50% have left? Are New Yorkers happy about the RNC coming to town?
They don't.
They're not happy? Sir, what percentage of New Yorkers like Bush and like the convention being here?
I think about 10%.
What does the other 90% think?
They left city. Everybody here.
Everybody's gone? How many, like 10% of the city's left? Half the city? What would you say is left?
80%.
80% has left? We'd been in New York about an hour before we were threatened with arrest for having our video cameras in the subway.
Any one of them. May I ask you what you're doing, sir?
Okay, will you tell me again so I know what to do?
I'm not telling you what to do.
No, ma'am.
That's all I am telling you is that you got cops climbing out of... Okay, you have a convention and you have a terror alert in this city. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, tell me so I know what to do.
I don't know what you should do. Have a nice time.
Okay,
you're on 34th Street. Okay, any train here will take you to 34th Street.
We were then threatened a second time with arrest for filming on the New York subway. And a woman who was separate from our group had her film camera taken, smashed, and the film destroyed. The footage you're about to see was shot clandestinely as the police took action against us.
I got to talk to her because she took a picture.
You didn't get arrested. I can't.
Let's not shed a tear over this now. Why are we playing games?
John, you're a witness to what just happened. What did we do?
We took a picture of a homeless person, felt sorry for her, and gave her some money. And then we were promptly almost arrested by Port Authority police in a subway.
The police have been arresting reporters across the city, and a judge had ordered them to stop, but that just seemed to encourage them.
Take them out. How about we go to whoever gave those to you and get them revoked? I just asked you to do me a favor and not tape over
It's
me.
my fault, sir. I'm his boss.
No. Listen, first of all, I'm talking. I don't need you to interrupt me while I'm talking. Yes, all right?
Okay.
Now, I just got finished telling him that I don't want him taping over here. Nicely to go over to the island. Were you here when I said that?
No, I was.
So why are you interrupting me now?
I said it's my fault.
How is it your fault if you're not here? All right?
How about we just leave?
That would be a great idea.
Okay.
Why don't you leave?
Okay. Did you get that? Oh, yeah. I've almost been arrested 3 times every day, anywhere in the city videotaping anything. It is an absolute nightmare. Hey, guys, get your cameras on. Yeah, what's going on? Okay, well, number one,
Hey, we're allowed to be here.
Folks, this is martial law. Sir, how many police were in New York?
40,000.
That's a huge army.
It is.
I think we need more police. There's not enough police. Maybe we need 100 million police. How about 50 cops for every New Yorker? How's that sound?
No, it's a little bit too outrageous.
A few months ago, they had a new fake terror alert. Later, they had to admit it was fake, claiming that a couple of Muslim guys were down here trying to take photos and video of all of this because they wanted to attack it. And they said it was a brand new threat. But it turned out that it was over 4 years old. And then when we got here to New York for the convention, they busted 2 guys who supposedly were going to go out for the subway. And then in that case, too, it turned out that was fake, that wasn't real. But all of these are used to scare the population into submission and as a pretext to up the police state and the despotism.